Hello friends, welcome to the Cold War Prepper. This is Lee, and this is attempt number 7 or 8. I'm using this program, Photo Booth, and sometimes it just does not record. It's recorded twice. First time it was interrupted by a spam phone call. The second time it was interrupted by my partner at St. Vincent de Paul telling me that we don't have to go do a home visit with somebody who needs our help. Both of those are recording at around 2-minute mark when they called, and so, we'll give it one last try. If this one doesn't record, then I'm just going to go do a live on StreamYard and do it that way. But what happens is Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk today about my 5 or 6 or 7 biggest mistakes and how you can learn from them. So this is a video response to originally Prepping by Faith. She put out hers. I'll put it down below. Please subscribe to her. Fantastic channel. That was I did a video response from Prepping with Sarge, and I'm going to put a link down to his. He is another outstanding channel I would like for you to subscribe to. Just two phenomenal channels. So now I'm going to do my 5 biggest mistakes. If I can limit it to that, maybe 6, 7. I won't go to 100, although I've been doing this long enough to where I could do 100. So number 1, I agree with Prepping by Faith, shelving. I started off with that cheap white plastic shelving at a big box store. It succumbed to the weight and just all over the room. So now I have one piece of that cheap white shelving left, and it has basically my first aid stuff and some spices on it, and that's basically all. Even that weight has got it buckling a little bit, so I'm going to have to come up with some strapping or some ropes or something to kind of cross support that where it's buckling so that it doesn't fall down. So I replaced all of my white plastic with the heavy-duty, sturdy black plastic you get at the big box stores, a Costco, or Sam's Club. And but we have that in the corner, and in the corner that wasn't supported, so we had 3 corners supported basically by wall, and the 4th corner that was not supported gave way, and it tumbled into our pantry room. So I had to do that, readjust everything, all the heavy stuff down on the bottom, the lightweight stuff up top. Don't try to put too much on there, one layer and that's it. Don't try to do multiple layers, So the other 2 thick plastic ones we put out in the garage, that holds the toilet paper and the paper towels now, and we replaced those in our pantry room with the heavy duty metal shelving, but it has like a 3/8 inch pressed wood center, and that was starting to sag under the weight of the cans, so I put in another 3/8 inches of wood shelving. That cost me height, and so now instead of 3 cans high, I can only get 2 cans high, but that is working, so that appears to be a good long-term solution. The other one we bought was we had this little space right there by the doorway we wanted to fill up. We found the perfect shelving unit, actually 2 of them, and we buttoned them up lengthwise this way and then lengthwise this way, so they kind of form an L, and put them together so that they would support each other, but they don't have any lateral spacing. I was reaching for something inside the closet, put a little bit of pressure on it, the whole thing collapsed, fell across the door. We had cans all over the place, and so I've had to redo that. I got my drill, some bands, did some lateral bracing in the on that shelving unit, and so it's doing a lot better now. But that's just make sure you get good shelving. That's number 1. Number 2, I've got way too much variety. So I've got too many soups in different places and everything else and it's all done by date, so that I know what I need to take out. It's the oldest. But what I need to do is concentrate on 3 or 4 different types of soups. Get those lined up, make sure that the rotation is there. We were looking for cream of chicken and cheddar cheese soups. According to my inventory, I've got 4 or 5 cans of each. We couldn't find them, so I'm sure they're way back in the back of all of my soups on that metal shelving unit. I'm going to have to unload everything to go find it. And if I just reduce the amount of different things that I had and concentrated on certain things, then it'd probably be a lot easier to find. Number 3, and both Prepping by Faith and Prepping with Sarge mentioned this in theirs, and that's training. I've had plenty of training all the way from advanced first aid when I was an ambulance driver back in the 70s. military training, and then of course with CERT, we got fantastic training. One of the best trainings I ever had was what they called Stop the Bleed. They brought in a mannequin. It had a simulated arterial bleed. You got to reach inside the mannequin, feel the artery pumping, pack it with gauze to get it to stop. And I mean, it was very realistic because it would stop bleeding when you got it packed properly. Just unbelievable training. My problem is we've got a small group here in the neighborhood. I haven't made sure that they get the same training that I have had. So, making sure that the people in our group are well trained. If we have to do any military style maneuvering, I'm the only military guy in our group, and I'm too old to do it. In 2 months, I'll be 71. I don't want to run around the neighborhood playing soldier with armor plates and a weapon and a whole bunch of magazines. I'm not that agile anymore. Don't want to do it. I did it for 21 years. That time's back in the past. I've been retired longer than what I served. So I just need to make sure that the rest of the people in the group get the same training that I have been exposed to over time. Number 4, maintain a good inventory. So we didn't really do a good inventory until we moved into this house, and then I started my inventory in an Excel spreadsheet. So, I have different tabs like meals, Mountain House meals, Thrive Life, Nutrient Survival, all these different fantastic meals that all you have to do is add hot water. Some of them you may have to cook a little bit, but most of them are just add hot water. And MREs are another good one to put in there with those meals, and I call them entrees. Then we have one tab or one page of vegetables, one of baking items, one of fruits, one of ammo, one of first aid supplies. There's a different page for everything in my inventory, and that will also keep you from buying things that you already have but you just can't find, like cheddar cheese soup and cream of chicken soup. Now here's another thing that I didn't do originally, and I need to go back and probably redo it if we get the opportunity to redo our pantry, and that is, where is the item located? So you could say like room 1, shelving unit 2, shelf 3. Okay, so that way if you have some sort of a locational system, you know exactly where to go, or anybody in your family knows exactly where to go to retrieve that item that's in your inventory. The last one, number 5, is kind of a show and tell. Got the USMC K-bar knife in my everyday carry. I've got the Mora Black out in the pickup. We've got another Mora on Helen's bug out bag. I've got my LT Wright Genesis. This is my favorite, just unbelievable. This is 1095 steel, by the way. This is my first knife. This was a buck. I got this from Boy Scouts back in the I got my Eagle in 1967, so that had to probably be about 1964. A Gerber. My second knife, a Cutco, because I sold Cutco cutlery when I was in college. An SE6, a Condor bush lore, a Gerber fighting knife, Becker BK2 from K-Bar, Becker BK7. By the way, this is Chris's favorite knife from Prepared Mind 101. I told you about him last night in the live. And then I did a search for him last night after the live was over, and I found out that he is back on. So he's done 2 videos in the last week. He's now doing it again. I'm so happy to see him back. Havelis Pathfinder Tradecraft knife, my Schrade SCHF 42D. So what am I showing you here? What I'm showing you here is Lee spent way too much money on knives. Okay, and so I'm going to call this mistake, too many knives, not enough wood. So this is going to be mistake number 6, which should be mistake number 1, and that is I didn't have a plan, a detailed plan. So when you don't have a detailed plan, anything fits in your plan. When you have a detailed plan, you're able to prioritize stuff, and I would find out that prioritizing other things like communications gear is probably more important than having 15 or 16 extremely high quality knives that you can only carry 1 or 2 of, and you can only use 1 of at a time. And so number 6 is going to be have a plan. Number 5, don't get diverted. If somebody like me says, hey, this is really great, does it fit in your plan? If it doesn't, modify your plan. And where is the priority within your plan in order to acquire that? So, number 5 is going to be, don't get influenced by things that I say or any other person says as far as get this item. It's right for us. It may not be right for you. Number 6, make sure it fits into your plan. Have a good plan. Write that plan and follow that plan. So remember, we're all in this together, so we can come out the other side together. Please be kind, polite, and respectful to each other, because togetherness is the key. Take care. Bye-bye.